In this video, we're diving into advanced Go channel patterns, focusing on more sophisticated ways to use channels for concurrent programming. We will explore the select statement for non-blocking operations and the range and close functions for channel lifecycle management. The select statement lets you choose from multiple channel operations. It's like a switch statement but for channels. Here's how it works. The select keyword starts the statement. Inside the curly braces, you have multiple case clauses. Each case typically involves receiving from a channel. For example, case message 1 : less than hyphen channel 1. If channel 1 has a message, this case will execute, and the message will be stored in message 1. You can then handle the message. Similarly, you can have another case for channel 2. If neither channel has a message ready, you can use a default case. This is important for non-blocking operations, and if none of the channels are ready, the default case executes immediately. Using the select statement helps in managing multiple concurrent operations without blocking. Timeouts are crucial to prevent Goroutines from blocking indefinitely when channels don't receive data. We can use select with the time after function to implement a timeout. Let's look at how it is done. We start with the select keyword, opening curly braces to define our cases. The first case attempts to receive data from a channel called data channel. If data is received, it's assigned to the result variable, and the process data function is called to handle the result. The second case uses time, after specifying a duration of 5 times time. Second, if no data is received from data channel within 5 seconds, this case executes. In this case, a timeout message is printed, and the function returns, preventing indefinite blocking. This timeout pattern is essential for building robust concurrent systems where unresponsive channels shouldn't halt the entire process. Ranging over channels is an elegant way to iterate over values received from a channel until it's closed. A producer Goroutine sends values into a channel, and after sending all values, it closes the channel. Here is the code for the producer. We use the Go keyword to run this function concurrently. Inside the function, we have a for loop that iterates from 1 to 5. In each iteration, we send the value of I into the channel ch. After the loop, it is important to close the channel using the close function. For the consumer, we use a range loop to receive values from the channel. As soon as the channel is closed, the loop automatically terminates. Inside the loop, the value variable receives each value from the channel, and then we print this value. This pattern ensures that the consumer automatically stops receiving when the producer is done, making it clean and efficient. Closing a channel signals that no more values will be sent on it. It's essential for receivers to know when to stop waiting for data. Only the sender should close a channel, never the receiver. Here's how you can close a channel using the close function, and then we pass in the channel to close it. To check if a channel is closed, receive from it. If the second return value is false, it means the channel is closed. This is how we can verify if a channel is closed by using value OK : less than hyphen ch. If not OK is true, then we print channel closed. For a safe receive pattern, you can use an if statement along with receiving from the channel. If v_open is assign the value of less than hyphen ch, and if open is true, process the value. This pattern ensures that you only process the value if the channel is still open, preventing errors when working with closed channels. The fan-out fan-in pattern distributes work to multiple workers and collects the results. It improves concurrency and processing speed. The fan-out stage distributes work to multiple workers. We launch multiple worker Goroutines using a for loop. Each worker receives jobs from the jobs channel and sends results to the results channel. For the fan-in stage, we collect all the results from the workers. Another loop iterates, receiving results from the results channel using a select statement. The result is then handled by the handle result function. This pattern is effective for parallelizing tasks and aggregating the outputs. The worker pool pattern uses a fixed number of concurrent workers to process jobs, limiting concurrency to manage resources efficiently. Here's how it's set up. A worker function receives jobs from a jobs channel and sends results to a results channel. Inside the function, a range loop iterates over the jobs channel, processing each job and sending the result to the results channel. To start the worker pool, launch multiple worker Goroutines. In this example, we launch 3 workers, each running the worker function and receiving jobs from the jobs channel and sending the results to the results channel. This pattern allows you to control the number of concurrent operations, preventing overload and ensuring efficient resource utilization. In this video, we covered advanced channel coordination patterns in Go. We explored the select statement for non-blocking multi-channel operations, range and close for channel lifecycle management, the fan-out fan-in pattern for distributing and aggregating work, and the worker pool pattern for controlled concurrency. These patterns help you build robust, concurrent applications with Go channels, making your programs more efficient and reliable. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.